I'm Amber Davies and welcome to Call to Stage. This is the space where musical theatre takes centre stage. From unforgettable backstage stories with incredible special guests to insights from my life and my theatre journey. We're leaving it all on the mic every single week, so let's jump in. Hi guys, welcome back to Call to Stage with me, Amber Davies, and the green woman of the hour, the wonderful Emma Kingston.
Hi.
I finally got her on, guys. Also, thank you for, giving us an hour of your time. I know it's precious at the moment.
Oh, no, it's good.
You're so chilled. I literally messaged Emma and I was like, what's your schedule looking like? Like, could I borrow you for an hour or is it vocal rest time? She's like, yeah, I really don't mind.
Yeah, it's fine.
You're a very chilled Elphaba, I feel.
Supposedly, yes.
Yeah.
Everyone in the building keeps telling me I'm really calm.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think inside is where, it's like the swan and then you've got like the legs underneath.
Yeah, but this is strong.
Quite calm.
So, I want to talk all things Wicked.
Hit me.
Have you got any pre-show rituals as Elphaba?
I sort of have developed only one.
Okay.
And my amazing dresser, Troy, and every Elphaba will know that Troy is the most divine human being. Troy takes me backstage just before I run through the middle, puts my suitcase down. He always gives me a sip of my water. And then I have to do like this sort of like swimming over arm movement just to sort of like make sure everything feels like ready to go.
Okay.
Swing my arms and then I run forward.
Oh, wow. So nothing like just to make sure everything's loose.
Yeah. I've sort of like already warmed up and stuff, but then it's just before I run on just to sort of get that burst of energy.
I love that. And well, firstly, I've got to say, I saw your opening night.
Oh my God, yeah.
I saw your first ever Defying Gravity on stage.
Oh, terrifying.
Was it?
Like, I think I had about 60 people there that day.
I was watching your family watch you. So I was crying because I was just like, you were always meant to play this role.
Thank you.
But watching your family watch you, like I've even got goosebumps thinking about it. It was heartbreaking.
Oh, it was so
beautiful to
sweet.
watch.
Like when we say all my family, like that wasn't even all my family. But everyone had come in, like my auntie and uncle were here from the States and my dad's brother and sister were here from up north. And yeah, just all my cousins, everyone, family, friends, my sister-in-law's family were all there. So yeah, it was a mega, mega evening. And I knew that the first one was just going to be what it was.
Yeah.
You know what it's like. The first show of anything, you just sort of go out there and what will be, will be.
Yeah.
And nothing will ever feel like that first day. Was it my best show? I don't know.
Can't remember it.
Can't remember. But was it amazing? Yeah.
Yeah. A moment you'll remember forever.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's so gorgeous because Emma and I have the same agent. So I know like how long you've been waiting for this.
It's been a long time.
Long time coming.
I mean, I signed with Alistair before he was at Curtis Brown.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I had signed with him in November of 2011. And we've been on a journey. Yeah. Shout out to Alistair and Helen.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a long time.
I actually messaged Helen because I'd heard on the grapevine you were going to be Elphaba.
I think everyone heard on the grapevine.
And I text her saying, I've heard Emma Kingston's going to be the next Elphaba, and you hadn't even gone in yet.
Shut up. As if.
Because my sister was in Wicked.
Oh, yeah, of course. Jade was on the tour.
And she saw me at the Prada party. And she went, Amber, I promise you, it hadn't even come on my desk yet. She was like, that's why I was so confused.
Which Prada?
Because you'd got it. I think you'd got it by the...
got it in October.
But I'd messaged her way before then.
Oh, yeah, then no.
How crazy.
That's mental.
It was always going to be you, babe.
I'd had another person message me as well. It was like, I think a week after I'd gone in. And he texted me saying, so, I've heard. And I went, have you? I haven't. And
how many times? Let's talk about it then. How many years have you been in for Wicked?
Do you know what? Not that many.
Okay.
So I went in for the first time for Standby Elphaba in 2016. I was just finishing Les Mis.
Okay.
And went in for Standby, didn't get it. Cool, not meant to be. The incredible Alice Fern got it that year, and that was 100% meant to be. And then I went back in when Alice was leaving in 2019, and I didn't get it. And again, that's fine. Then sort of COVID happened, and I was like, do you know what? I'm going to think about other things and not worry about that. And if the time is right for it, it will happen. And here we are.
Are you glad that you're playing her at your age now rather than back then?
Yeah.
Like mentally stronger?
Yeah, I think so many people have asked me this, you know, would you have been able to play Elphaba 9 years ago when you first went in? And I think, you know, as a vocalist or an actor, I think, yeah, I probably could have done it. But I think it is that mental stamina that you need for just leading a show and operating in that way in a massive franchise building.
Yeah.
That I think you have to have some calm about you that I just think you develop from experience.
Yeah, and age.
Yeah.
Sorry, do you know what? This is so funny. This is selfishly a podcast for me because there's so many things I want to know. Oh, hell no. Not yet. And it's so funny because every single time you look that way, I can see a bit of green.
Oh, no.
In your ear and in your hairline. And I just spotted your nails. I'm having a pure fangirl moment. Right?
No, it really is.
Look at those nails.
They're cute, aren't they?
Green for the year, babes.
Yeah. Green for the year. And you think, like, I fully shower after the show. I then shower again when I get home. Had a shower and washed my hair this morning.
I can still see.
And it's still in my ears.
That is the part of the gig, though.
It is.
I do want to talk about the greening and de-greening as well. How many times did you go in this time for the audition?
This time, twice.
Twice?
Yeah.
That's good going, that.
Yeah, so I sort of went in just to essentially say hello. You sing half of Wizard and I, half of Defying Gravity, one scene, and then they said, oh, can you come back in, 2 days? We'll just do an hour's workshop and then we'll sort of send off the tapes.
So did you know?
I was really quietly confident this year that I really knew the material. Mm-hmm. I hadn't been in for about 5 or 6 years. I'd done a lot of different work that really challenged me as an actor. Mm-hmm. And I just felt more comfortable in myself that I didn't put my whole life's worth in getting the job. So it probably made me more relaxed in the room.
Yeah, I love that. I love that so much. Also this year, they've brought in an alternate.
Yes, the amazing Laura Emmett.
Wow. I really think we've needed this. Like I'm part of the alphabet.
No, I think
it's a big sing, Emma.
Yeah, it's a big sing, but actually more than a big sing, it's all consuming. You get into the building. Well, you start getting green at 5:30.
Okay.
On a one-show day. So I get in about 5:15, and you've got to be in all of your show underwear and all the rest of it to get green. So you still have to, get changed, get green, do your makeup, go down for warm-up. And then you also don't leave the building until 20 minutes, 25 minutes after everyone else. So from the minute you get green till you leave the building, it is non-stop. And you are running around everywhere. You are, you never leave the stage. And if you do leave the stage, it's either to run somewhere to come back on or get changed.
What's the longest break you've got off stage?
The first bit of Dancing Through Life.
Okay.
So after I meet Fierro, I run off and then I run back on for a little vignette scene with Nessa during Dancing Through Life.
Okay.
So it's about 2.5 minutes. That's the only time in Act 1 where you can sit down.
For a second.
Unless you need the loo. And then...
Well, have you ever been for a loo there?
Yeah. You have to go under the stage, though, because there's no toilet on that side of the stage.
Oh, God.
So you have to go underneath the stage to the other side, go to the loo, come back round, and then you're ready to go on. So it's... If you need the loo, then is your only time.
Yeah.
I've done one cheeky break otherwise. And it's after that. I thought to myself in that moment, no, I don't need it. And then Troy, again, amazing Troy, was like, are you sure? Because there's no other time. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm fine. So I did that scene, you know, come back on. And just before the Ozdas Ballroom party, I come off and get changed. And I went, it's got to be done. But you can't run under the stage. There's no time. So the only place to go to the loo is front of house. So
Did you have a wee front of house while the audience were in there?
So it's the toilets in the auditorium. And the curtains are drawn by the toilets. And little did anyone know that Elphaba was going for a cheeky loo break.
I love that.
Yeah. There was a little girl in the toilet as well. And I think I just ran out. And she must have been like, that's either some crazy super fan who's come fully dressed as Elphaba, or something very strange has happened. Or I just
peed next to Elphaba.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably made that little girl's life.
Yeah, maybe. It's only happened once, and I promised Troy that I would never do it again.
Do you think that Elphaba needs that alternate?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it changes the goalpost of when you have to think about your stamina. Mm-hmm. So, you know, Monday is a day off, and for me, Thursday is a day off. Mm-hmm. So you come into work on Tuesday and, you know, you've got 3 shows and then you've got 1 off. Mm-hmm. And then you've got 4 shows and then you've got 1 off. Mm-hmm. Rather than I have to do 7 shows or 8 shows and then have time off.
Yeah.
So it just changes the way that you can focus your stamina.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like
which
that
is
a
nice.
lot. And also it's more enjoyable for you, for everyone. You're not stressed.
Yeah.
You know, you're not thinking, oh my gosh, am I going to get through this? And then, you know, your energy can affect other people, you know?
100%.
Yeah.
And also I think it's an incredible job to be an alternate where you know that you've got 1 Elphaba a week at least. And what a great gig as well that is.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Are you doing anything in particular for vocal health?
I mean, I've always been very, 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 very lucky in that my voice has always been quite healthy, but I don't really have any vices. I'm one of those really annoying people that I don't really drink. I don't vape or smoke, and I eat pretty healthy, drinking lots of water. And I wake up now and put electrolytes in my water so that I can sort of hydrate during the day. And then, because you don't have time to drink during the show. No. So as long as I'm sort of hydrated during the day, I would say I'm now really like vigilant about when I drink water.
And what about vocal rest?
I mean,
do you not think about it?
I try not to, because I also want to live my life.
Yeah.
I think, you know, maybe if I was like a real party goer, but I'm so not. I'm so boring anyway that, you know, I still want to be able to go out with my friends. And if I do want a glass of wine, be able to enjoy it rather than constantly like, oh, you know, I think.
Gosh, you're ever so chilled.
I just think look, and Helen would be the first person to tell you this, that definitely at the start of my career, you know, this industry is my life. And I remember Helen sitting me down once and saying, you can't make this your entire life. And it probably wasn't until the pandemic where we were all forced to kind of think outside the box. Yeah. And I went, yeah, she's right. Yeah. And I love it. Anyone that knows me knows how obsessed I am with musical theatre and the joy that it brings me. But you can't allow it to be your only joy. And I think, don't get me wrong, I have to think about, can I go out for that drink after the show? And if I do, I won't drink. I'll go and socialise for half an hour, 45 minutes, and then I'll go home.
So you're mindful?
Yeah. You negotiate with yourself where your boundaries are, rather than, you know, live like a nun.
Yeah. Let's not live like a nun.
No.
I am the party girl you're talking about.
Yeah, but lovely.
But do you know who else is?
Then great.
Do you know someone who blows my mind? Jamie Muscato.
No, I know.
Because
Freak of nature.
He sings the most ridiculous track, but he is a party girl, kind of.
Lovely. I envy those people. But actually, no, I don't. I don't enjoy it. So I don't know why.
The older I get, the more I don't.
No.
And then the last thing on Wicked, Hoopla.
Hoopla.
Was it amazing?
Hoopla was incredible.
I had to ask. I had to ask.
One of the most amazing moments for me about Hoopla was Zizi and I did it together, and I sat on stage for Popular so that she could use me. And it was insane to be sat there, not doing anything, and listening to, we had a crowd of apparently 15,000 people, of which it was the third most favorited event at Hoopla. And you've got everyone screaming things like, you will be popular. And it was mental. It was insane.
Oh my gosh. I just when I saw you two, I dropped my phone and I just thought, iconic. And Zizi.
I love her. I just love her.
Yeah. Could you imagine doing this with anybody else?
No. And I'm so happy with the timing of it. Zizi and I have known each other for a while, but we've never worked together. And the timing just felt so right that the two of us could do it now. We're the same age, sort of very similar crowd of friends and experiences. And yeah, to be able to do it with Zizi she's the most consummate professional. And
she's wild, isn't she?
She's just an insane talent.
You're both very similar in the ways that you're an expert in what you both do.
Oh, thanks.
Do you know what I mean?
Try.
You are.
Getting there.
Your first ever professional job, correct me if I'm wrong, Greece.
Yeah.
UK tour. Yeah. First cover, Jan.
Yeah. And Miss Lynch. Let's not forget Miss Lynch.
Yeah, I did.
That's
I
all right.
didn't know that one.
You know, I had my stage time, which was 17 minutes.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
Thank you.
What a gorgeous first job.
It was the most random of first jobs. And I remember thinking to myself at the time, you know, like a really young, naive, maybe too big for my boots grad going, do I want to do shows like Greece? And I remember my agent saying, it's only sort of 5-6 months. Go and have a good time. And I'd lived at home to go to drama school and all the rest of it. And you know what? I had the best time and made some of my best friends on that job.
Oh, I love that.
I loved it. I loved
it was
every
meant
second
for
of
you.
It was.
And you, talking about grad.
Yes.
Mount View.
Yeah.
So how old were you when you went to Mount View?
18.
And did you do the 3 years?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. What made you want to go to Mount View?
I think growing up, I had the most incredible singing teacher, Kirsty McKenzie. And she used to teach at a secondary school round the corner from my house and would come to me after school. But she also taught at the old Arts Ed in Tring, which is now Tring Park. And she always used to tell me stories about, you know, the kids going to the school and whatever. So she was really influential in sort of helping me pick where I wanted to go. And she recommended, I think I must have been about 14 or 15, getting the stage newspaper. And I always just used to see ads for Mount View. And I sort of became a woman on a mission and a bit obsessed.
Okay.
And my mum, when I was 16 and 17, she made me go and watch third year shows at Mount View.
Oh, wow.
Just to see if I liked the kind of performances that they were offering.
Yeah.
So a bit of research, because my parents didn't have a clue.
Okay.
And so that's sort of how it came about. I also didn't get in anywhere else.
Oh.
So I would have, Mount View was always my first choice, very luckily.
And you got in there?
I did, but I didn't get in anywhere else. So.
But you didn't need to get in anywhere else. Love that, love that. You also, after Greece, did the Priscilla UK tour as Diva 1.
I did.
So two UK tours back to back as a grad.
2 UK tours back to back.
To me, that's perfect.
I mean, I haven't done a UK tour like that since, and I think it was the perfect time to do them.
Yeah.
I was on tour for about 2 years, and, you know, I sort of went from a very small part and covering to like playing a diva where I'm on stage all the time, singing in my own track. I wasn't covering. And it was a wild experience doing Priscilla. We were the first UK tour, a lot of lessons learnt, but a great experience.
Yeah. I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
Others that you've done, other shows that you've done, because I want to talk about In the Heights.
My fave.
The Light in the Piazza, The Last 5 Years, Cake and Zorro.
Yeah.
Out of those, what was your favourite?
Oh, I'm going to say the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Because we did it at the Minack Theatre in Cornwall during the pandemic.
Wow.
And it was an outdoor venue. If you've never seen the Minack, Google it.
Okay.
It is phenomenal. It's carved into a cliff edge near Land's End at the bottom of Cornwall. And you look out onto what looks like a Caribbean beach. It is phenomenal.
Oh.
It's amazing.
And it was a hot summer that year.
Yeah, it was. At 2020, and myself and Waylon Jacobs, we were the two of us with our amazing musical director, Leo Munby, who I love. And yeah, we went down to Cornwall for a week, did 8 shows of the last 5 years when no one was performing, no one was doing anything. And it was just
special.
Yeah, special.
Yeah. In the Heights.
In the Heights.
King's Cross Theatre and Southwark Playhouse. You played Vanessa. I saw you.
When?
King's Cross Theatre.
Did you?
Yeah, I was in my 2nd or 3rd year.
Yeah, it's when I went back. Yeah.
How was that?
In the Heights was truly the job that changed my life.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was the first job I did in London. So I got that straight after Priscilla. And I didn't know what it was going to be like to work at Southwark Playhouse. We really were, we didn't earn any money doing that job. Those jobs you didn't do for money, you did them purely for love.
Yeah.
And I would do it so many times over. We all got together, this incredible cast of people. We had David Badella, who'd already won an Olivier for Jerry Springer. Victoria Hamilton Barrett, who I can't say enough amazing things about Vix. She'd just come off the back of playing Diana Morales in a chorus line. Sam Mackay, who had done countless things, be it television, theatre. We had the most insane cast of people. And you look at our creative team, Luke Shepherd, who's now, director extraordinaire between Broadway and the West End, Drew McConey, who is artistic director of Regent's Park, Tom Deering, who was our music supervisor, Phil Cornwall, our MD. It was the most insane team when you look back. But everyone was just getting started. And it just felt like one of those rooms when the first day we walked in, we just knew we had something really special. Pre-Hamilton, no one knew what we were doing. We were convinced we weren't going to sell a single ticket.
Really?
Yeah, we just thought, I come from a Latin background, but we don't have a big Latin community here like there is in New York. And we just thought no one's will have ever have heard of this show. No one's going to come. Our first preview sold out, and then I think we were the first show at Southwark Playhouse that literally had queues around the block for returns. It was nuts. And I would do every single bit of it again.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Would you say that's one of your career highlights?
100%. And then, I was lucky enough to go back to the show 2 years later. Paul Taylor Mills called me. There's a story there, and he was like, we need a Vanessa. And I was like, why? And he said, get to King's Cross now. And I sort of went back into the show with 40 minutes rehearsal. It was nuts.
Oh, wait. So would I have seen you as Vanessa? Did you actually do the King's Cross run?
For 2 months.
Yes, then I would have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How weird. And I had no idea it was you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And I was there, for the last 2 months of the first contract. And the first time Lynn saw the show was our last day. So it was amazing.
Did you meet him?
Yeah.
I asked him for a selfie once. He said no.
Really? Aww. He was really lovely
after
in the
I played
Heights.
Campbell in Bring It On.
Oh, sure.
There's a story there.
Okay.
I'll tell you off.
Oh, we actually met him though after the Southwark Playhouse. What was so funny is he was in London the week after we finished at Southwark, and he said, "Oh, I'm so sorry I didn't make the show. I had loads of deadlines. I've been writing this show." And we were like, "Oh, I wonder what that is." Hamilton.
Just a casual ham.
Just casual. And I
Just
remember the
shot.
cast, we all took him for a drink at Century.
Standard.
Yeah.
I feel like
2014.
that's crazy. Yeah. So when did you go back to King's Cross?
2016.
Yeah.
The summer of 2016.
So that means it was my 3rd year.
Yeah.
ensemble, first cover, Eponine, Les Mis.
Yeah.
Did you do that with Jade?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we would have been in Century together.
Yes. I did my first year with Jade when I was second cover Eponine.
Yes.
And then my second year, they bumped me up to first.
Yeah. Oh, so you went to second to first. Jade basically used to take me out with the cast of Les Mis.
I remember.
Because I was like so cool like that. And like, you know, in college, and I was like, yeah, I'm just off out with the
You were probably still cooler than me, the person who like did not want to go out anywhere.
And I remember it taking me in a tuk-tuk with someone.
Oh, random.
Yeah. It might have been Eva.
Eva joined like Jade's first year.
Yeah.
And then I joined Jade's second year. Because Eva was doing Saigon when I was doing Les Mis.
Okay. There like, if you think of that cast.
It was incredible.
Carrie, you, Rob.
Yeah.
Houchin, Carrie Heck Fletcher, that's who I'm referring to. That's mental.
Yeah, it was a great cast of people. I actually loved my 2 years on Les Mis.
Did you?
Yeah, I really, really, really did. And again, some just amazing friends I made on that job. Rob, Celinda, my best friend Jessamy, who's been on Hollyoaks now for a while. Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah.
She's so beautiful.
She's so beautiful.
I feel like that was all, you were always going to tick that off. Would you ever go back to Les Mis?
Never say never.
Like that. Fiddler on the Roof, Chichester Festival.
Another really special job. I'm very lucky, actually. And I would like to think I'm, you know, careful about the way I carve my career, but actually I really do think the jobs have found me. Fiddler, Daniel Evans, his first season at Chichester, Fiddler on the Roof. I mean, Fiddler on the Roof is one of those shows that I had to tick off.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, when you grow up in a Jewish household, it's basically the Bible. And
I love that.
Yeah. And I remember going into my audition and just being like, I love Fiddler on the Roof so much. I have to do this show.
Aww.
And that again was just a really, really, really special show for so many reasons. And Daniel did such an incredible job of it. Him, Alistair David, and Tom Brady, just amazing. Yeah, it was really special.
That was always meant for you.
Yeah.
And Chichester Festival, for anyone listening, would you recommend that they absolutely work there?
It's one of my favourite theatres that I've ever worked, performed. Everyone in that building loves their job.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah. It's
happy place.
It's a really happy place. Just the town is beautiful. The stage, you will never work on another theatrical stage where you feel so... It's a thrust stage. So you're like within the audience and you feel like you can't hide, but it's a big auditorium. And it's amazing. Like for working on your craft,
I love
really
that.
cool.
For working on your craft. Chichester Festival.
Definitely.
International tour. Eva Perón, Evita.
Yeah.
That's big.
It was.
Like, I'm just thinking, you're not in your own bed.
No.
Flights.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Aircon.
Yeah.
Tell me.
I think Eva Perón was almost my gateway to Elphaba, because I thought if I can do Eva Perón, I can do anything.
Massive.
It is a massive, massive role. And the crazy thing for me was Fiddler and Evita, I was offered in the same weekend.
Oh.
And
great weekend.
Honestly, fantastic weekend. When Helen called me about Evita, I thought she was calling me to tell me about something to do with the contract for Fiddler. And she went, do you want to do Eva Perón? I went, I'm sorry. What? And my mum's Argentine. So like, again, it was one of these. Yeah. Where you just go like, oh my God. And before I started Fiddler, I actually called my best friend and went, should we go to Argentina for 10 days and stay with my cousins? So that's what we did. We just went off to Argentina and gallivanted around with my cousins.
I love that.
Yeah. I was like, well, I hadn't been in about 9 years, and I thought, well, let's go back and I can just do some research. Cheeky holiday
for the taxpayers. For
research,
HMRC.
Absolutely.
Tax. It's work research.
Work research. Stayed with my cousins. And
how did you find the international tour part? We're doing such a big role.
You know, we sat down for quite a long time in different places. And I was in South Africa for 4 months.
Casual.
Which was a long time. But I love South Africa as a country. I loved being able to explore somewhere I'd never been before. In fact, everywhere I went on the tour, I'd never been before. And, you know, we went to Singapore, Taipei, Hong Kong.
So you travelled the world?
Yeah. And then we got to Tokyo and Ramin Karimloo joined us as Che. So
love Ramin.
Yeah. So, you know, and I'd watched Ramin on the Phantom 25th and Les Mis 25th. And,
now
you know,
dressing room neighbours.
Yeah.
Mental.
And the show's called Evita, and like I'm playing Evita. It was one of those moments where you go, well, this is pretty cool, isn't it? You know, I met the late Hal Prince before he died. Like I went to see him in his office to talk about the show in New York. It was insane.
You have lived the most fruitful life.
I have to remind myself of that sometimes.
That is so weird that you've just said that. I had another guest on the show, and I was reading off their CV, and he was like, thank you for reminding me.
Yeah.
You need to write a gratitude list of everything you've done. A gratitude list to yourself.
I do.
Thanks,
because
Emma.
The thing is, you know, as an actor, when you're in between jobs and you're feeling like, oh, when's the next one coming? You almost forget everything you've done before, and you feel sometimes like what you've done before doesn't count.
It does count.
But it does. And it's, you know, experiences and memories that last a lifetime. Like meeting Hal Prince in New York. He was like the original producer of West Side Story. My little brain was going crazy. So yeah, it is important to remember those things.
Yes. You need to write a thank you letter to yourself. Heather Chandler. Heather's.
Can
I just say one thing? I've actually never seen Heather's.
Really?
I've never listened to Heather's. I think I'm the only person in the world.
Do you know what? It's great fun.
I honestly missed the boat to audition for it, and I'm the type of person, if I'm not in for it,
you won't listen.
I don't listen to it.
Oh no, I only listen to show tunes on my Spotify. I would say it's embarrassing, but it's not.
No, it's not.
It's not. Yeah, Heather's. I was obsessed with the off-Broadway cast recording back in like 2014, 15.
Okay.
And I couldn't go in for it initially because I was doing Evita, and then the incredible Jodie Steele did it. And again, this was sort of coming back out of the pandemic. Again, I got an email just saying, do you fancy doing Heather Chandler at the Other Palace? We're reopening the Other Palace. Do you want to do it, 10 to 12 weeks? I thought, yeah, well, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Like, why not? We'd all
So did you not audition for that?
I'd sent a tape in donkeys years before. So that was quite nice to just get an email.
Offers only.
Yeah.
I love that.
Which was nice.
I love that. Did you enjoy it?
I did.
Yeah.
I had a really nice time.
Oh, was it only for 12 weeks?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't stay very long.
Short runs like that are beautiful.
They're really nice.
Because you haven't got time to be sick of anyone in the cast. No. Or be sick of the overture, No. I actually really got on with everyone in our cast and just had a really lovely time coming out of the pandemic. Who was your JD?
Freddie King and Jacob Fowler.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And finally, before we go on to our Patreon session where I just ask you some quick fire round questions.
Go for it.
Julian Carousel at Kilworth House. I saw you in that.
Oh my God, yes you did.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, I did. Yes. And it was amazing.
Thank you.
Like the choreography, your
Nick's choreography,
vocals,
insane.
the theatre in general, it was giving a tad open air theatre. Is it an open air?
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Kilworth House is open air, but it has a gazebo.
Yes.
So although they say you can't be rained off, I can tell you now, you can. We had a hilarious show at Kilworth where the rain was horrific. And it got to the point where they had to put one lighting state that was going to try and evaporate the water because the lights were warm. And we'd had a half an hour show stop. And the hotel, which is also on the site at Kilworth, was saying, we can't stall, we've got a wedding or something. And so we started all doing the finale of You'll Never Walk Alone. And then it sounded like the Blitz behind us because they'd set off loads of fireworks. When you walk through a storm.
What, from the wedding?
Yeah. It was one of those shows.
Yeah, you had to be there.
Yeah.
Great for an audience member.
I mean, yeah.
I feel like if something unique happens within a show, the audience feel like it's a real personal
It's
experience for
100%
them.
like that memory, and that's the beauty of live theatre.
Yeah, that is the beauty of live theatre.
Yeah.
One word to describe your carousel experience.
Dream.
I love that.
Because I love that show.
Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. Emma, you're amazing.
Thank you.
And if you are a Patreon listener, I'll be asking Emma some of your questions next. Bye. Bye.